Welcome to 5-Minute English Daily. Today we are learning 5 useful idioms about money. These are expressions that native English speakers use all the time, and by the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand and use them with confidence. Let us get started. Here are your 5 vocabulary words for today. The first word is break the bank. Break the bank. This idiom means to cost too much money, or to spend more than you can afford. For example, we wanted to go out for dinner, but the restaurant on the corner would really break the bank, so we chose somewhere cheaper. The second word is on a shoestring. On a shoestring. This expression means doing something with a very small amount of money. For example, she traveled across 3 countries on a shoestring, staying in hostels and cooking her own meals to save money. The third word is cost an arm and a leg. Cost an arm and a leg. This idiom means that something is extremely expensive. For example, the new laptop costs an arm and a leg, so he decided to wait until the price came down before buying it. The fourth word is money to burn. Money to burn. This phrase describes a person who has so much money that they spend it freely without worry. For example, he booked a first-class ticket to Tokyo and stayed in a luxury hotel for 2 weeks. Clearly, he has money to burn. The fifth word is in the red. In the red. This idiom means to owe money or to have a negative bank balance. For example, after paying all her bills this month, her account is in the red, so she is trying to cut back on spending. Now, let us hear these idioms used in everyday conversation. Imagine someone is asking about planning a holiday on a limited budget. Someone might ask, how can I enjoy a city break without spending too much? A good answer could be, you can absolutely have a wonderful trip on a shoestring if you plan carefully. Choose budget accommodation, use public transport instead of taxis, and cook some of your own meals. A short city trip does not have to break the bank if you make smart choices. Look for free museums, free walking tours, and free events happening locally. Many amazing experiences cost nothing at all. Someone might also ask, why do some people end up in the red after a holiday? A natural answer would be, it often happens because people do not set a clear budget before they travel. They assume they have money to burn, but small daily costs add up very quickly. A coffee here, a souvenir there, a taxi instead of the bus. Before long, those small expenses cost an arm and a leg when you add them all together. The key is to track your spending every single day. Now, let us look more closely at each idiom and understand it in even more detail. Break the bank originally came from gambling. If a player won so much money that the casino ran out of funds, they broke the bank. Today, we use it in a much lighter way, usually to mean something is too expensive for our budget. You might say, a weekend trip to Paris does not have to break the bank if you book early and travel light. On a shoestring comes from the image of a shoelace, which is one of the cheapest and thinnest things imaginable. So, doing something on a shoestring means doing it with the very minimum of money. Students often live on a shoestring during their university years. Cost an arm and a leg is a vivid and dramatic way to say something is very expensive. The image suggests you would have to give up something incredibly valuable just to pay for it. For example, good quality furniture can really cost an arm and a leg, but it lasts for many years. Money to burn suggests that someone has so much extra money, it is as if they could literally set fire to it and not care. This phrase often carries a slightly critical tone, as if the person is being wasteful. You might say, "He replaced his phone every 3 months. He must have money to burn." In the red comes from traditional bookkeeping, where debts were written in red ink and profits in black. If your account is in the red, you owe money. The opposite expression is in the black, which means you have a positive balance. Businesses work hard every year to stay in the black. Now for your quick recap. Today you learned break the bank, on a shoestring, cost an arm and a leg, money to burn, and in the red. These 5 idioms about money will help you sound natural and fluent in everyday English. Practice using one new idiom each day this week. Thank you for learning with 5-Minute English Daily. See you in the next lesson.